UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen vs. Nurmagomedov goes down tomorrow, and here's my full main card predictions for every fight on the main card. Starting off with the first fight to open up the main card, Joel Alvarez versus Elves Brener. What a banger of a fight to open up this card. You couldn't ask for a better opening fight to a Fight Night main card than this. And this is a tough fight to pick. I went back and forth on this one. I think about the height advantage that Alvarez has, and that for his 20 wins, 20 of them by finish, 16 of those by submission. He is a finisher. Then you have Elves Brener, who comes from that chute box background, just pushes forward, amazing power, great jiu-jitsu. And it's like both of these guys have a really good path to victory. And I almost think that Brener has more ways to victory, because if things get really tough, I see Brener finding a way out of it and winning the fight. In his fight against Garama Kutateladze, he made an epic comeback in that fight and finished Garama. And it was an amazing performance. But for this fight, I'm going Joel Alvarez by second round TKO. No way he submits Brener unless he has him really badly hurt, but I don't see that happening. Brener's jiu-jitsu is too good. I'm going with Alvarez because I think his Muay Thai is going to be too much. His kicks are deadly. He has amazing power. I am worried about him getting hit by Brener because Brener can put you out, but I think Alvarez is just going to be able to do enough on the feet to get the finish in the second round and put Brener out cold. I don't know if it's an elbow or just a left hand, but I think he's going to put Brener out. He's, pretty cold. Not a full flat line, but he's going to get him out of there. And I think it's going to be a banger of a fight. I think it might be the best. I think it might be fight of the night. And I'm not super confident in this pick, I won't lie, but I think Alvarez gets it done I think the height advantage is going to be huge. I think he's going to be able to tag up Brener. And I think those elbows he has, the Muay Thai, the kicks, and just his finishing capabilities is gonna get him the win in this fight. But that was probably the hardest fight to pick on this entire list for me, to be honest. That's my least confident pick. I was thinking Brener before this, but I gotta go Joel Alvarez. I think he gets it done. Second round TKO. Moving on to the next fight, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Loopy Godinez. Listen, I know Mackenzie Dern's had a lot of hype, but she's on a 2-fight losing streak. Got knocked out by Jessica Andrade. Got beat up by Amanda Lemos. And I think she's been very overrated. Her striking sucks. It's improved, but it still sucks. Her takedowns are sloppy. Her entries are terrible. And yes, can she submit some people? Yes. Does she have a chance to submit Loopy Godinez? If she gets the takedown, there's a chance. But Loopy Godinez, I think her wrestling is good. Her striking is way better than Mackenzie Dern's. And, with female fights like this, it really can go either way, but I'm pretty confident Loopy Godinez is just a better fighter. And, maybe take out jiu-jitsu aspect. I think she's a better fighter in every category of MMA. I think she's going to outstrike Mackenzie Dern. I think she's going to be able to fend off the takedowns of Mackenzie Dern. I think she might be able to take down Mackenzie Dern if she wants, but I don't think she'd want to do that because I think Mackenzie Dern's only path to victory in this fight is with the jiu-jitsu and gaining submission. So I don't know why Loopy would ever even want to go to the ground when I think she could just piece her up on the feet for 3 rounds straight. So I'm picking Loopy Godinez by decision. I think she wins 2 out of 3 rounds. I'll say Mackenzie Dern gets a round. Maybe she gets the 3rd round or something. I don't know. But Loopy, I just think outclasses her and just shows that just in more aspects of MMA, she's just a better fighter. And I think Mackenzie Dern I said she had a lot of hype, but I think, she's going to be on a 3-fight losing streak after tomorrow, and we'll see where her career goes. But I just think Loopy Godinez is just a fundamentally better fighter in 90% of aspects of MMA than Mackenzie Dern. So I have to go Loopy Godinez to get this job done by unanimous decision. On to the next fight. And spoiler alert, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this fight. I don't even want to talk about this or say his name, but we have Tony Ferguson versus Michal Chiesa. Michal Chiesa is going to win this fight. He's a way better grappler. He's way bigger than Tony Ferguson. And even though Michal Chiesa is a dead body, Tony Ferguson is more than just a dead body. He is the deadest of the bodies in the UFC. There's not a bigger dead body than Tony Ferguson in this sport. He's on a 7-fight losing streak, and it's really sad to see what happened to him. You had Justin Gaethje absolutely took his soul. Vera beat him up. Beneil Dariush beat him up. Michael Chandler sent him to the goddamn moon with that head kick. That head kick, that knockout, I had like a stomachache after that happened. That's how disturbing seeing Tony get knocked out was for me. I literally my body didn't feel good after that. That most vicious knockout maybe I've ever seen. Tony Ferguson, he has nothing. He's getting destroyed by Paddy Pimblett. He's getting destroyed by Bobby Green. To be honest, I've spent more time on this fight than I even want to. I just wanted originally just 5 seconds to say Tony Ferguson's losing and then just move on next fight. And Michael Chiesa isn't very good either, but the size advantage, the heavy grappling, the heavy jiu-jitsu. I'm going to pick Michael Chiesa. I think he's going to submit Tony Ferguson in the second round. I think I'll go guillotine. I think he gets a guillotine on Tony, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'll just say guillotine, but he's submitting Tony Ferguson somehow in the second round. Any method he wants, to be honest. That's how much of a dead body Tony Ferguson. But I'll go Michael Chiesa, second round guillotine on Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson goes on to lose 8 straight. And if the UFC does not make him retire, I got a whole new video plan for that. Because I think this is borderline assisted murder, what the UFC is doing right now, letting Tony Ferguson still fight in this sport. All the damage, the brain damage, the CTE he has. He does not need any more of this. The mental struggles he's had at home. His family doesn't need this. This isn't good for him. He's not making enough money to do this. So shame on Dana White. Absolutely disturbing that he's still throwing Tony Ferguson, into fights to fill up cards and stuff because he's still a big name and fans still love him. Absolutely disturbing. But Michael Chiesa, second round, second round guillotine, beats Tony Ferguson, and I don't even want to talk about this fight anymore. I just hate that Tony's still fighting. It is what it is, though. On to the featured fight. We have Marlon Chito Vera versus Deiveson Figueiredo. I love this fight. This is an amazing featured fight for this fight night. Deiveson Figueiredo, former flyweight champion. He's done some good stuff up a weight class at bantamweight. Wins over Rob Font. Submitted Cody Garbrandt at UFC 300. Marlon Vera has some decent wins on his resume, but he's coming off a extremely undeserved title shot and a ass whooping that I don't know how he survived that. Most durable human I think I've ever seen in my life. That was incredible that he survived that, but he got the shit kicked out of him. And obviously, this is a pretty easy fight for me to pick too. And I have to go Deiveson Figueiredo by unanimous decision. I love Marlon Vera. He's one of my favorite bantamweights, but he doesn't have any output at all. When you look at his resume, what are his best wins? Dominic Cruz, Frankie Edgar, Pedro Munez, Rob Font. When you look at Dominic Cruz, he was losing that fight before he got the knockout. Frankie Edgar, I'm pretty sure he was losing that fight before Marlon Vera knocked him out. I love Marlon Vera, but his resume is not very good. He got a super duper undeserved title shot and got his ass kicked in it from the first second to the final second. The only success he had in that entire fight was that body shot at the end when he actually started swinging and stuff, because he never likes to swing. He's not very quick. And I think Deiveson Figueiredo is better on the feet. I think his chin is better at 135. And Marlon Vera has no grappling, and Deiveson Figueiredo will be able to take him down. And Marlon Vera's never been finished. And I was thinking of picking Figueiredo by submission, but I can't. Marlon Vera's too durable. He's never been finished, so I'm not going to pick Deiveson Figueiredo to be the guy to finish him. But who knows? Maybe the damage Marlon Vera took from that Sean O'Malley fight permanently broke his chin. That's a type of fight. We look at Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson, the ass beating that Gaethje put on him. Look what O'Malley did to Marlon Vera, man. That knee he landed on him. It was unbelievable. So I have to go Deiveson Figueiredo by unanimous decision. I think he wins every round. And the only way I see Marlon Vera winning this fight is if, listen, I got to give him credit. He has some godly powers at times. When he connects with that head kick, when he sets it up properly, he can put anyone out. And, he couldn't do that. And in fact, I hope he does that. I hope he puts out Deiveson Figueiredo. I like Marlon Vera a lot. But I got to pick who I think's actually going to win. And that's Deiveson Figueiredo. He's going to win by unanimous decision. He's going to out-grapple and outstrike Marlon Vera. And if things, let's say, get tough on the feet for Deiveson, he'll just be able to take Marlon Vera down and control him. Marlon Vera has no grappling game. So Deiveson Figueiredo, unanimous decision. Marlon Vera just doesn't have enough striking capabilities, isn't able to find the kill shot, doesn't have the good grappling, and he pays for it. Deiveson Figueiredo moves into the top 5 of the bantamweight division. Moving on to the co-main event. Shara Magomedov versus Michal Oleksiejczuk. This is a solid fight right here. And I think it's a good fight because it's going to end with someone getting KO'd, in my opinion. When you look at Shara Magomedov, he has a clear weakness. His grappling. He has a very clear weakness. But his striking is very, very good. It's very effective. And he's a legit striker. He has a legit weaknesses, but he has a really legit strength in his striking game. And Michal Oleksiejczuk, and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right, by the way. I think I am. But he has some good grappling, but he doesn't really use it. And you look at some of his wins. I mean, some of his best wins recently are over Cody Bumnage and Sam Elvey? I mean, we were talking about dead bodies and Tony Ferguson, Sam Elvey. I mean, my goodness. And he doesn't ever use his grappling, and even if he does, Shara Magomedov is only training grappling. Especially when he looks at this matchup in front of him right now. He's probably like, okay, this stays on the feet, which I think it will. I have no chance of losing this. But, he might try and take me down once I start rocking him and stuff. So he's been training that. I'm not saying it's going to be elite or anything nearly close to that. Not even average. But he's training that. And Oleksiejczuk, I just see him trying to, brawl like he likes to do all the time. And if you want to brawl with Shara Magomedov, I think you're getting slept. I'm going Shara Magomedov first round KO. I think Michal tries the brawl too much and Magomedov just puts him out. With a kick, with a punch, I'm not sure. But I'll go head kick KO. No, I'll go wobbles him with a head kick, finishes him, TKOs him up against the fence with his strikes, left hands, right hands, to the body, to the face, finishes Oleksiejczuk in the first round. And, it's just, you look back at this fight and I think we're going to think, why didn't Oleksiejczuk just grapple? But he's never been a big grapple guy, even though he is decent at it. And, even if he does, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I think Shara is going to be able to piece him up on the feet so badly. Even if he does get taken down, it's not going to be enough to win the fight. So yeah, I got Shara Magomedov, first round KO, set up by a head kick, followed up with strikes over Michal Oleksiejczuk. Now we move on to the main event of the evening. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Cory Sandhagen. This is an amazing main event, guys. You couldn't ask for a better fight night bantamweight main event than this. This is fantastic. And I love fights. I was saying this in some of my earlier videos. I love fights when you have a guy who's around that top 10 spot like Umar, and you put him against the Wolves, against an experienced veteran who's fought for a championship before in Cory Sandhagen. And this is exactly what this fight is. And this fight has huge implications. The winner of this fight is in line for a title shot, especially if Umar Nurmagomedov wins. I mean, can you imagine, 4 years ago, let's say, you're like, yeah, Sean O'Malley's going to be champ, and we're going to have him headline versus a dude named, Nurmagomedov. Imagine on the poster, it says O'Malley versus Nurmagomedov. No, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, no one would ever even imagine something like that would happen. So a lot of interesting stuff could come out of this fight right here, and it's super meaningful for the division. This is a proper main event right here for a fight night. And when we look at this fight, Sandhagen, he's improved his grappling over time. He didn't like how TJ Dillashaw was able to hold him up against the fence. He thought he kind of lost that fight because of the control time. And he's really improved his grappling, and he's demonstrated that. But my main issue with Cory Sandhagen, and why I'm not picking him in this fight, I'm not picking Cory Sandhagen in this fight, is that he's a very good striker. He has really, really unorthodox kicks, flying knees. But what elite fighter has he knocked out? I know there's the Yadong TKO, but that's a doctor stoppage. Just a really bad cut, which Cory did cause. So fair to him. No, fair win for him. I'm not trying to take away anything from that win. That was a great win for Cory Sandhagen. But that fight was debatably 2-2 going in the 5th round. And it's just, that's not really a proper TKO. It's a doctor stoppage in that fight. And, I wish we got to see a 5th round, but the cut was so bad, it just couldn't happen. I understand the doctor in that case. But you look, he uses grappling to take down Rob Font. Rob Font has terrible takedown defense. And then he beats Marlon Vera. Marlon Vera's a bum on the ground. And by the way, how that fight went to split decision, I don't know. Sandhagen literally won like every round in that fight. But he's not finishing any of these really high-level fighters. And the thing is, Rob Font and Marlon Vera, I don't even think are really elite bantamweights. I don't know if I'd pick Rob Font or Marlon Vera over anyone else in like the top 10, even the top 15 in some cases. I think a lot of people beat Marlon Vera. I think a lot of people beat Rob Font. So they're good wins, but they're not exceptional wins. They're not like statement wins. And the reason why I'm not too worried about Umar Nurmagomedov's resume, because his resume is dog shit compared to Cory Sandhagen. Like, I'm kind of dogging on Sandhagen's resume. He has a good resume, but I'm still dogging on a bit. Umar Nurmagomedov's resume doesn't even come close to Cory Sandhagen. But the reason why I'm not worried about that is because, and I think most people would agree with this, when you look at all the guys that Cory Sandhagen has fought and won, Rob Font, Marlon Vera, Frankie Edgar, that was his last big knockout. Umar Nurmagomedov's beating these guys. He's taking down and destroying Marlon Vera. He's taking down and destroying Rob Font. Obviously, there's a chance Rob Font or especially Marlon Vera maybe catch him. I mean, that there's a chance for that in every fight. That's just fighting. But overall, 9 out of 10 times, Umar Nurmagomedov's beating those guys, if not 10 out of 10, to be honest. Song Yadong, maybe that's a different story. Song Yadong is a very, very good fighter. But overall, I think Umar Nurmagomedov, if he fought the same guy Sandhagen fought, I think Nurmagomedov is winning all those fights like Cory Sandhagen. So I'm not looking too much into the resume, but I totally get if you're picking Sandhagen because, his resume is just better, which it is. I totally get picking Sandhagen, and Vegas odds are disrespecting Sandhagen. He's a good money line bet in my opinion. But Umar Nurmagomedov has amazing grappling and he has amazing striking. His kicks are nasty. And Sandhagen likes to mix in the wrestling, but I don't think that's going to work against Umar. And I could see Umar switching positions if Sandhagen got a takedown and getting Sandhagen's back. So if I'm Sandhagen, I don't think I even want to play that game with Umar because I think that's walking right into what Umar wants to do. And now I shouldn't say wants to do, but you're helping Umar out by trying to grapple with him because I think Umar knows he's a clear advantage, and I think he personally has a clear advantage. And I could see him getting the back and just choking out Sandhagen. I mean, think about, look what, I know it's a while ago, but look what Aljamain Sterling did to Sandhagen. I do think Sandhagen is much improved since then, but still, these Dagestani guys, they get your back and they go for the neck and they choke you unconscious. They're just really goddamn good at it. But I'm going to be picking Umar Nurmagomedov by decision. I think Cory Sandhagen is an unbelievable fighter. And I think, he is one of the best bantamweights in the world. But I think Umar Nurmagomedov, I think he's going to be able to out-grapple him. I can see him taking Cory Sandhagen down. I think he's going to neutralize all offensive wrestling that Sandhagen has. And on the feet, Sandhagen's amazing, but it's not like he has like some nasty KO power. I mean, as I said, his last KO win was over Frankie Edgar. What elite fighters he knocked out? You can't name me one. He has not knocked out any elite fighters. And obviously Umar hasn't either, but Umar's kicks are amazing. I almost am more confident in his power as well over Sandhagen's. So I think Umar Nurmagomedov can outstrike Cory Sandhagen. And let's say maybe Sandhagen has, the slight edge on the feet, and Sandhagen is a guy who has good cardio. He gets better as the fight goes on. So, maybe Umar gasses. We don't know how good his cardio is necessarily. And that's, I think if there's a way that Umar gets exposed, it's that he tires out and Sandhagen just beats him up for the remaining half of that fight. Maybe that's so. And I shouldn't even say Umar gets exposed because losing to Cory Sandhagen does not mean you get exposed. But that's how I could see Sandhagen, let's say exposing a weakness in Umar's game and capitalizing on it. But I think Umar's going to be ready for this fight. He's going to be ready for 5 rounds. And maybe he gasses in the 5th round, but I think he's going to be up on the scorecards. I think he's going to mix in the grappling, shut down any Sandhagen grappling. He's going to be able to take him down. He's going to be able to use his leg kicks, use the power in his hands to beat up Sandhagen on the feet. And I just think when I look at this fight and I think who has more ways of attack. And I think Sandhagen's only real way of attack is on the feet, and I'm confident that Umar can match that level of striking. And let's say he can't, let's say it's not as effective as Sandhagen's, he's going to have the grappling in his back pocket. I think he's going to be able to take Cory Sandhagen's back. I don't know if he's going to be able to choke him out. I do think Sandhagen has improved vastly in his grappling. And I think Sandhagen on his mind is I cannot let him get on my back, and I cannot get choked out. So I think he's going to be, training that, hyper intensely in the gym. But I got Umar Nurmagomedov winning by decision, just more offensive weapons than Sandhagen, and mixes in the grappling, mixes in the striking, uses those amazing kicks, and is able to win. I think he wins 3 out of. I don't think he wins more than 3 rounds. I think it's a very tough fight. But when the judges are reading those scorecards, when Bruce is reading those scorecards, I think we all know that Umar Nurmagomedov got the win, 3 rounds to 2. Very close fight. I could see Sandhagen having a lot of success in certain areas, but Umar is going to be too much for him with his versatile attack. And at the end of the day, the key factor for Umar is going to be his amazing striking, which I think is worth all the hype it gets up. It's very hyped up. I think that hype is justified. And with the grappling advantage he's going to be able to shut down Sandhagen and outstrike him. I could see the takedown really affecting Sandhagen's striking as well. Umar, just too many ways to win this fight for Umar, I think. More versatile on offense, and he wins a very competitive but clear-cut win, unanimous decision for Umar Nurmagomedov. So guys, let me know what your predictions are for the main card tomorrow. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys after the fight night tomorrow.